Hi, I'm Brady. I'm a sixth grade inventor at HES in Hebron, Connecticut, and I invented the CleAir mask. The CleAir mask is an oxygen mask with 3 interchangeable filters. Now, the way I came up with this was by perusing Amazon in the height of the Omicron variant. I saw masks going 25 cents per count. That's 25 cents a day if you live alone. Every time you go home, you're throwing away 25 cents. That's outrageous. So I set out to fix that with my design. The way I came up with it is in a rather unexpected place, actually. My grandpa's basement. I saw an oxygen tube, and I thought, hey, that kind of looks like the tube that goes through these things. Then I got thinking, what if I just made that into the mask and then added changeable filters? That would really cut down on waste and also be extra safe because it has an improved seal. Now, I started thinking, and my first idea was to take an oxygen mask like one of these, but add little cloth pockets on all of the holes here, here, and here, and then have the mask slide in. But then I realized, well, if it slides in, there'll still be air that can escape through the cloth parts, right? So I figured that would just be the same as a cloth mask, which as CDC says is less effective than a surgical mask. So my second idea was to cut a little slit right here in the mask so that I could fit a small mask cartridge into it. But then I realized that the mask, when you're breathing, would just go all the way through and let air out. So I came up with my third and final design. I added the adapter here with a mask on the inside of it, and then these, my ball bearing like design, they have this little thing on the outside that when you're inhaling, it actually closes in and creates a seal so that air only comes through this, but when you're exhaling, it lets air out and filters it. So the way I built it was by first finding the right oxygen mask. I looked and I saw masks with giant holes all over there to let air out. Right? I saw those all over the place. And then I found this one. And this one came in 3 sizes so that I could make it changing sizes. And it also came with only 3 holes. So then I had to find the right size to cut the filters. This is actually surprisingly hard because I actually had to find something the size of this hole here because I couldn't just trace it. Next was the ball valve idea, which is just so that I can let air out but not in. And then the adapter cartridge. I had to actually sand down the inside of this adapter so that it could fit my mask cartridges. Now it was time to test it. The way I tested it was by taking it for varying amounts of time, like 15 minutes to start. Now with this test, felt fine. Felt like, normal mask. Half hour in, same thing. And an hour, same thing. And so on and so forth. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, great, but COVID's over. What's the marketing potential? Well, COVID is not over. I don't want to believe it, and I know none of us want to believe it, but there will still be COVID no matter what happens. And even when COVID is very, very, in billions of years, even when COVID is like barely a thing anymore, there'll still be new viruses. So, with that in mind, I'd rather have a comfortable and safe mask. And on top of the comfort and safety of it, it's also cost effective and a little less obvious one is it's actually great for the environment. See, when you're throwing away that mask, on top of throwing away 25 cents, you're also throwing away a mask. That piles up. That ends up in a landfill somewhere. Right? With this, all the waste is 1/14 of a mask. So over 14 days, you're only Every 14 days, you're throwing away 25 cents. That sounds a lot better than throwing 14 cents away, or than throwing 25 cents away a day. And so, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.